Hey everyone, so today I went to this one thing that I go every month. Well, in June, of course, I didn't go, but on May I did. Where where I basically just buy robots. I claim them on Facebook, and right after that, I just, how's this shit called? Right after that, I just go pick them up and pay for them. And I actually got a few that I really like. Believe it or not, it's not that much as other fests, because usually I would get like 10 robots or so, but it's really good. It's pretty much worth it. So first thing I saw, this was like the first thing out of the entire bunch, and this was something that was planned from the one from May. So this one lady told me she had this one red Millennium, and I was like, cool, can I see a picture of the back? And I was like, oh, okay, so just a red Millennium, until I saw the back and I was like, holy shit, it's a first generation. So for anybody wondering, first generations don't have the holes right here, don't have a small speaker, of course, they have a large one, but they have one screw at each shoulder. And this one came with the battery cover and everything. But here's the thing about it. Of course, you people might have seen right now my other video over the. Let me just pause the video real quick and I'll say it. Okay, here we go. So you guys may have seen the video that I uploaded earlier today, and it was this well, yesterday. It technically would be yesterday because it's midnight, but the video I uploaded on the car where I was pushing the button and everything. So this is the version 2, apparently. This is the version that was made either before, and it was, it would make a lot of sense if this was the original first generation. Because the other one was the one that got first, like, there's three sound variants as far as I know right now. There's this one, then there's the one that has the other sound, the one that we mostly know on these, and then there's the one that has it shortened, that's actually shorter and has another blinking pattern. I got this all wrong when I was, 15 or so. I thought that the first generation was the first one I had, or, my very first ones, which were believe it or not, they were the last generation, actually. Um, and I got that all wrong. So my childhood one is actually the last generation that had a shorter soundtrack and everything. The ones that are older than that have a longer soundtrack, and then there's this one which I discovered just this year. Now, what's the whole thing about this one? This one's pitch is lower with the drop your weapon fire. It's also a little faster. So here's, of course, the backstory about it. There's this one lady that was selling a Mars Dynaforce, and there's this jerk that I know in the group that I really don't like. And he buys it and everything, and I'm like, oh shit. So basically, the lady tells me, well, I have another robot, and I'm like, another robot, and it was this one. So I was like, hmm. So, first I told her a certain price. She didn't like it, so I just raised it. And she was like, yeah, sure. And I was like, okay, good. So if you can keep it for July, then I'll be sure to pick it up. So, of course, the fest comes, and I'm like, okay, so I bought it, and I was expecting it to have pretty much the same sound as the one that Kevin has, the first generation black. Because the one he's got is a first gen or something, maybe the second version they made. And this one is, again, has the same features, the same specs and everything. But no, this is the one that I discovered earlier this year. Because believe it or not, the only reason I know there's another soundtrack version, which is this one, is because there was a black one that was being auctioned um, in 2018 in that same site, and I would just put robot in all sold listings and posts and everything, and I saw the video and I instantly showed Kevin. I was like, holy shit, look at that, it has another soundtrack. I was kind of skeptical, kind of like, yeah, maybe this one's not gonna be it, and lo and behold, it actually is. So here we go. You can hear the voice is a little different, and at the same time the stomping is different, but here's where it all just goes completely different. Now, this one opened the chest earlier today just a little bit, but now it just doesn't open it in general, so the gear completely slid down. It doesn't walk either, but it spins at least. So another thing that you guys may have probably known or noticed, if you guys know how the other ones sound, is that this one has an extra. Instead of having like two cycles, it has 3 cycles. It actually has the first stomping, then it stomps again, shoots again, and then it stomps again. Because like on these every cycle, it's the same thing with the how's this one called? With the robot leader, the Zodak one from Sun AI, it's the same deal. I call it a cycle when it starts stomping again. Okay, so it's like stomp, sounds, and then stomps again in another series of sounds. The Zodak leader has 4, I believe, 4 cycles. 4 cycles. This one has 3. Of course, later on they just reduced it to 2 cycles, and that was it. It's really cool. I mean, I can't complain about it. Definitely worth the price I paid for it. Now, I asked for, I bought this Robot Sergeant, and to be honest, I am absolutely happy I did it, because I think this one was dug out from the trash, and I'm nowhere near kidding. This thing was probably thrown somewhere, someone found it and resold it. The thing was saved, I'll say it that way. So, you guys are going to be wondering, why do you know that? Look at the shitload of dirt it has. This looks like if it was chucked in a bin and just thrown, how's it called? Because we have this one, of course, if you guys know Argentinian people, you're going to know that we have this one drink that's called mate, or mate, whatever, and it has this one, grass-like thing that you put, and then you put water on it. That's pretty much what it has thrown on it. All around the legs and everything, and it had a lot more. I actually had to throw a lot because I took it apart. Because here's the whole thing about the robot. The sound and lights work, what the person told me. Yes, they do indeed. And the funny thing is, it has the handle for, I believe, the sword. I really don't think it's the gun, because the gun on these, it's usually gold. This is the sword. So the first generation sword is gray. And it has the light bulb in it, too. So, yeah, that's there. Of course, it has a big missing arm, and this is where Jordan's parts are gonna have to come in handy, because I was originally wanting those parts to build up a Frankenstein turbo fighter, but that's gonna have to wait a little bit. It's not that it's not gonna be done, but it's gonna have to wait. For now, I'm just gonna have to be on the lookout for an arm for this one or something. What else was I saying about? Of course, it's all dirty. It's dirty here in the head, everything on the body. So this was definitely dug out from some dumpster, some trash or something. And I'm really happy that it ended up in my hands after it was dug out. It has a little bit of corrosion, but it's not that much. It's just a little bit over the top there. Other than that, just dirt, scratches, broken antenna, broken arm. There's a peg that's actually broken from the chest, which should be here. And now you guys are going to be noticing, of course, if you guys haven't noticed it, this one has a different finishing to it. This one actually has a metallic finishing. What does that mean? Well, this is the first generation from 2002. The reality about these Robot Sergeants is that I've been getting a bunch of things wrong until I got Now, in 2018, I got the Robot Sergeant, and that's when the whole theory just took shape and it became a reality. What basically happened is in 2002, I think it was 2001, it's not here, sorry. In 2001, Happy Kit and Smart Industrial made Robot Defender. In 2002, Happy Kit was already producing their own robots. So that's when the original Super Fighter came by and Robot Sergeant. That's why they have that metallical finishing. Then, of course, they got remade in 2005 or 6, but with standard colors, just like all the other Happy Kits, where they have that blue glittery thing, where it has like blue with tiny specks of glitter and red. Of course, the originals, the Kid Connection Super Fighters, and the Cybertronics Robot Sergeants, they all have this finishing. The only thing that was left of it was for the antenna and the little headset piece. These are the same in every single Robot Sergeant. Other than that, the entire bunch of things have got changed. The box was different. I actually was able to find a few pictures of the box. It would come in a really fancy styrofoam insert with like the freaking sword and all that crap. It's amazing. Even the remote had this texture to it. It's really sick. So anyways, the whole thing about it is it did not move. It was stuck. The switch was bad, so it wouldn't really go into the play mode. There was and there is actually a broken track for this leg. And when I unstuck it, the first thing that it started doing was just clicking and clicking and clicking. Then it started turning. The relay's kind of messed up, because the thing is, it was turned. It was actually turned. It was like not, it was straight, but the body was loose. So it was clearly about to turn. Alright, I'm sorry, I just changed the batteries. That's why I paused the video. So it was turned. The body was turned. The gears actually split, but it still holds in tight. And of course the thing starts turning and everything stops. And then right after that, I turn it off and on again. And the thing just started moving and, of course it got stuck and I had to brake. Because here's the thing about these. If sometimes the piece right here is broken in a way that, of course, these things turn, what would it be, clockwise if you see it from the side, but they turn like if you were to put wheels, it would go in reverse, so it turns that direction, the Z-bar. And there's this part, there's sometimes when there's like a little piece left in the front of the track, and that usually sticks it, because it hits that. So I had to break that piece completely off. Again, I can 3D print it. I have the resources and everything, and this was broken already, so, it doesn't even have the other piece to glue or anything. That's pretty much why I didn't bother. But other than that, the robot, after that, it started moving a little bit, started, like, doing what it does when a leg track is broken, where it just moves in place. It would even go reverse, actually, a little bit. And other than that, of course, it works. The relay, as I said, is messed up just from being so much time in that position. The battery cover here, the CE on the back, proving again my theory that these things, they took the CE in 2009, I believe. So let me see if I can play it, because as you guys can see, it's hard. You have to kind of wiggle the switch. Come on, you piece of trash. Because, I mean, look, the sound works.
Robot Sergeant activated.
But when I turn it on, you gotta slide it down a little bit. See, that's... Come on. That's pretty much the benefit of having a dirty switch. Oh. Come on. It was working just a fucking sec. There. Of course, as I said, this thing actually works. And again, these never had any sort of try me button function, just like the Robot Defender. That one, you push the button and it does certain actions.
Scanner activated. Enemy detect attack.
There's the light.
Sergeant, weapons training.
Now this is pretty much where you guys are going to see that the relay is messed up, because on these, I mean, I get the fact that on the Robot Defender it actually goes like that and it's fine, but on these it's not really supposed to happen. So in the original Super Fighters, and this is a problem that keeps on carrying on for years, in the original Super Fighter, and pretty much I believe every single one of the originals that have this sort of mechanism where, because here's the thing, there's two types of mechanisms. There's the mechanisms where you can remove the chest plate on, and again, it's like a completely superficial thing, has nothing to do, but it's because it has the original Super Fighter features, which are, there's a holder on the side that is for putting a shaft for the spinning thing in case it would have it, and everything, and the shape is different as well. The Turbo Fighters, they didn't have that. They had different gears, and they had a completely flat gearbox. The gear, now here's where the thing, gets related. The selective gear is also different. On the Robot Sergeant and all the original Super Fighters, Robot Defender, 2002 Super Fighter, it drops a little bit when it's at the middle, and then it goes back up. That's not supposed to happen in this one. That's not something that is supposed to happen, because the thing just messes it up. On the original Super Fighter, it was, because it would change phrases. In Robot Defender, it would. It's supposed to, because it's supposed to let it know when to do something else, like when it's on each side. Other than that, of course, that can be adjusted, but here's where you guys are gonna see, like, when the robot turns to the middle, it's gonna mess up.
Sergeant, scanner activated. Scanner deactivated.
It didn't mess up. What the fuck? It did not mess up this time. This fucking robot is embarrassing me. It was failing just a second ago.
Scanner activated.
Let's see if it does it this time, like with the double shooting it does when it's messed up. Right in the
Enemy
middle.
detected. Attack.
There we go. That's not supposed to happen.
Enemy destroyed. Defend against attack.
See?
Enemy destroyed.
That's not supposed to happen at all, so...
Activated. Scanner
See?
deactivated.
There we go. So that's pretty much Sergeant. So now we're gonna go with the others finally, so I can finish, because it's like 18 minutes. That's ridiculous. So here's the Stone AI Star Roto robot I bought, and it's fucked up. It's absolutely fucked up. The gear inside, I thought it was stripped, the selective gear, but no. It's that the long gear that touches that one, the hole got bigger, so it just slides off. The thing about this, it has a lot of issues, a lot of missing parts. Thank goodness it still has what's necessary to make it work, but look at the fucking leg. It's disconnected, it's broken, the back shaft is bent, and I know because I've taken it apart. I know all this because I have taken it apart, but look at this. Look how bent the shaft is in both areas. And, the inside does no good to it either. it can't even stand. And I have a video of it working when how's it called, when I first, got it. Well, earlier pretty much today. And I got this bell ringing Santa, or musical walking Santa Claus. It has another sound chip, pretty much the same 3 songs, but played differently. There's one arm that's actually broken. This arm, like the entire thing came off. It was stuck. It works, but it has a broken gear, so it like just twitches a little bit. It walks, rings the bell, and then just it messes up. I got this one too, which still has the batteries, and it's a little messed up from the walking, and the arm's disconnected. So now I have the original and the fake, and then I got this Android robot, which another model that I needed, and it's a regular Dropticon just like my other ones, but it works and everything. Ironically, like, I don't know what exactly happened. I turned it on, it moved. I turned it on again, it didn't move, and then I hit it and it started moving. So I'm gonna have to check it to see what goes on with it, and at the same time fix up the box because it's a little over taped for some odd reason. But anyways, that's practically everything for the day. Pretty good day, I'll say that. And oh shit, I slid the switch all the way down. Anyway, so that's practically it. More updates coming soon. Thank you for watching.